Dr. Corey Lappin, who's an optometrist, is going to talk about mites. What? Wait, hold on, let me read that again. Mites. We don't like mite. Well, we don't know much about. I never talked to a mite. I believe I've seen a mite. Are mites really living in our eyelashes? Oh, yeah. Surprising signs that might send you to the eye doctor. Oh, no. All right. So, well, actually, what is a mite? Let's start with what is a mite, and then how could it ever get to your eyelashes?
Yeah. So people, like you said, you might hear like, do we really have these little mites on us all the time? And the answer is whether we like it or not, yes. We all have these tiny parasitic mites called Demodex, and they live on our eyelids and lashes. And it's completely normal for them to be there. We all have them. And typically, you're not too worried until they overpopulate. That's the problem. Once they get out of control, that's where they start to create problems, and your eyes can get red, watery, or itchy, and you can even start to lose your lashes. And that's where we have this condition we call Demodex blepharitis. And here's the thing, it's incredibly common. Nearly 25 million Americans have Demodex blepharitis, and that's more than the entire population of New York State.
Okay. So, well, you also said that they possibly are not only in your eyelashes, but they're possibly on your body as well. So, um, I sometimes get a sty, and sometimes I think it's hereditary. I don't know, you can tell me, from my dad. And my eye gets red. And I go to the eye doctor, and he says, you have a sty again, and he gives me something to take. Is a sty related to a mite?
It actually can be. So it's one of the things where these little mites, since they're on the lids and lashes, they can create a lot of problems. And styes are actually one of the things they have been associated with. So I mean, right there, you can come with me in the clinic. I mean, you're on top of this. You're already making these connections, which is great.
Well, and he suggested to every day to make sure I wash my eyes on a daily basis. Is that a good routine?
So it can be helpful, but it's not able to get rid of these little mites. So that's a great question because that's what we've kind of traditionally talked about. And one of the things, like for instance, what we look for when we're looking for this condition to see if you have it, is we actually have you come into our office and we put you behind this big microscope called a slit lamp and we have you look down. And what we're doing is we're looking at your eyelashes specifically because there's this thing called a collarette. And it's basically this buildup of kind of crusty junk. It's made of mite eggs and waste. And if we see that, then we know that you actually have this Demodex blepharitis condition. So that's how we diagnose it. So that's where we kind of talk about that washing away of things. But the problem is that's not able to get rid of the mites themselves.
Okay. Well, then what is?
Yep. So that's the great follow-up to that. So essentially, we have a new eye drop called Xdemvy, and it's the first and only FDA-approved medication that specifically treats these mites, this Demodex blepharitis. And the way you use it basically is you just use it twice a day for 6 weeks, and it actually gets rid of the root cause, which is the mite itself. So it can kill the mites. And in my clinic, I've had a lot of success with the drop. It's the reason why I partnered with Tarsus, the company that makes the drop, just because I found it's very successful, easy to use. And then, patients always want to know about side effects for medications. And with this particular drop, the most common is people can get a little bit of burning or stinging when they put it in, but it tends to be really mild, doesn't last long. And even then, it only occurs in about 10% of patients. So it's also a very well-tolerated drop, which is nice with any of the treatments we're using.
So let me ask another question. And since you have nice eyebrows, um, I have very light eyebrows. In fact, I even used a pencil a couple of days ago. Someone said, try I look 100 years younger. I wasn't actually even here. So my question is this. How about your eyebrows? Do they go up to your eyebrows also? How about you seem to have a beard, it looks like.
So yeah, so potentially they can be on their whole body, kind of like what you mentioned before. And in those other places, issues can potentially occur, but it's really when they're around the eyes, just because as you can imagine, the eyes are such a sensitive area. That's really where they tend to create a lot of problems. But yeah, they can be over our entire body.
Uh-huh. And why are the eyes such a sensitive area, would you say?
Oh yeah, and it's mainly just because our eyes are constantly, think about the fact we're blinking throughout the day to kind of spread tears over our surface, keep our eyes well hydrated. The lashes are trying to protect our eyes from getting any debris in there. So when you have these mites move in there and they start messing with the eyelashes, they start creating irritation and inflammation, it just makes our eyes not be able to function as comfortably as we want. So it's one of the reasons why, too, we're always trying to protect our eyes. We never want something in our eyes. And when we got these little critters just roaming around there, it's not a very good thing.
Now, but are these dust mites? Are these the same animal that everybody says keep a clean room, keep use 99% bacteria-free solutions, and really, how do we keep from getting them in our life?
So this is one of the few times I actually get to use my undergraduate degree in zoology. So actually, different than dust mites, they're actually our own specific little mites. These ones only live on humans. We have two little subspecies of them, and they're actually not hygiene related. So people, they're like, oh, do I need to fumigate my house? No, you don't need to get out the big circus tent and pump all the gas through for this. These are just naturally there. It's actually thought, if you look at what they've kind of scientists have found, is it's likely that we pass them on from mother to child. So again, natural that we all have them. It doesn't have anything to do with hygiene or anything. So don't worry about having to, do a deep cleaning of your house for this. It's normal that we all have them. It's really just when they kind of, like I had mentioned, get out of control that we have trouble with them.
We got to blame our parents again for something else? No.
Oh yeah, I always say when it's Mother's Day, you thank mom. It's another thing that you get to thank mom for.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that's pretty wild. Well, why are you an eye doctor? Why are you an optometrist? What inspired you to do this? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, for me oh yeah, absolutely. For me personally, you can't tell right now because I have contacts in, but I have terrible vision. So when I was a kid, I first got my pair of glasses. I told everyone it was like the world going from standard definition to HD, which that reference now with a lot of younger people, they don't have any idea what I'm talking about even for that. And then I played sports, and football helmet didn't really work well with glasses until the one time I'm like, I fine, I won't wear my glasses, got hit in the head with a football, and then I got contacts. Figured I wanted to see, and from that, I just had an interest in the eyes, and that kind of started it for me there.
Do contacts or say I had cataract surgery, are those maybe more, would mites be more prevalent in somebody that had those kinds of concerns or live that way?
So they've actually, when they studied this, they did find that those are two populations, patients who have had cataract surgery and patients who wear contact lenses are groups that are at risk of Demodex blepharitis. So again, like I said, I'm bringing you to the clinic with me. You're already thinking about things way ahead right there, because those are two populations we definitely want to be looking at this condition when we're dealing with them.
Where is your clinic?
So current clinic is in Phoenix, Arizona, but soon I'm going to be opening one in Cincinnati, Ohio, because, I like to move between the entire country here.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I've wanted to go to Phoenix, but I don't know if I wanted to go there to check out my mites, but I think they were the Red Rocks or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, all's good. You do, you do a little, it's a little health vacation for you then.
That's pretty good. Anything else we should know about this concern?
Biggest thing for this, to keep it simple, if you're worried that you have these mites or you're worried that you have Demodex blepharitis, the easiest thing to do is just go and see your eye doctor. And we're going to look for those little crusties I talked about. And again, if you do have them, then we have an easy treatment with the new drop we can take care of. And if you don't have them, it's still great, because we want to make sure we're always taking care of our eye health. In the meantime, if people are interested in learning more about these Demodex mites, they can always check out this website called extembi.com. They've got a lot of good resources and information for them there if they want to learn some more, or maybe see some pictures of all this fun stuff.
How do you spell that website? And that time?
Yes, so that would be xdemvy.com.
Okay. All right, doctor. Thank you very much. I appreciate the information, and stay mite free, maybe. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. You take care. Bye-bye. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.